Hi everybody, I have opinions. When you cut down the bullshit, Red Queen is about a class divide. It's about silver-blooded elite people with superpowers versus red-blooded non-elite people without superpowers. That's it. That's the story. I don't know why people have silver blood. I don't know if they're evolved humans or if they're aliens or if they're elves or if they're fairies or if this is even Earth. I don't know. I don't know what makes the Reds inferior other than they don't have superpowers, but then also they kind of do, which we'll get into. I don't know about that. So this book follows your protagonist, I use that term loosely, whose name is Mare. She is a red blood. She does not want to go get drafted for this war that we don't really know anything about. So she ends up through a series of events in the palace where she finds out, gasp, shock, horror, she has superpowers too. So the king and queen and then the two oldest princes out of, I think there were several, like literally were never mentioned again. They come up with this big plan to hide her as a silver-blooded, long-lost princess or something. She's betrothed to the prince, and so she just basically pretends to be a silver through the rest of the book. So, okay, like, first of all, is this supposed to be a dystopian novel, or is this like high fantasy where we're talking about elves and humans, or is this supposed to be like a sci-fi where we're on another planet? I have questions about the world that didn't get answered in the 400 pages of this book that I read. I don't know what I just read, and I get that there are 1,002 other books in this series that could answer those questions for me, but if you can't get my attention in the first book, I'm probably not going to read through book 8 of the Red Queen saga. If there are 8 books. I actually don't know how many books there are. I just know that it started out as a trilogy and then there were all of these novellas and all of these other books because we gotta make that coin. I get it. I do. But I probably am not going to continue reading these in all honesty because this just did not grab me the way that it should have. So I went into this thinking of it as a dystopian novel. I mean, it kind of is. It is a super oppressed society of Reds who as far as I can tell, like, their biggest bitch about the Silvers is that the Silvers send them to war when they're 17 and they don't know what the war is about, and it's not really something that they chose to do, which I have feelings about this war, okay? The number one feeling about this war that I have is that if you want me to feel sympathetic to you and your cause and your characters with this war, then fucking tell me about the war. I would love to read about the war instead of it just being the war over there about something. This book doesn't even tell me how long the war has been going on. This book literally says in the beginning, the war was supposed to end less than a century ago. Less than a century ago was yesterday. Less than a century ago was 50 years ago. Less than a century ago was 98 years ago. I don't know what this war is about. I don't know how long this war has been going on. I'm just told that it's been going on for a while and it might be over food. So the characters in this book are extremely problematic. Mare, the protagonist, is just a giant dick to everybody. Like, she shows up to the palace and she's like, you want to make me a princess? Okay, I'm gonna be an asshole to everybody. I'm gonna hate everybody. This is torture. Putting me in a fancy gown and feeding me food is torture. I hate all of you. Okay, I can get where she's angry because she keeps thinking about her family. Oh no, wait, she doesn't. All she thinks about is how hard it is for her and how, like, sad she is because she's in a palace surrounded by rich people and nice things. I don't know. She is shallow. She's so shallow. Like, when she thinks about her family for the 5 pages in the 400 pages of this book that she does, it's really it's pathetic. Like they hate her. Apparently she is the least favorite child, and she just thinks about how much her mom didn't like her and how much her sister is the perfect child, and then her brothers who got sent to war, and how only one of them can read, and here she is in her fancy gown, and she's just so pathetic and she's so sad. And it really turned out that she's the most miserable of her whole family, guys, who hate her. And then there's Evangeline, who is her big rival in the love triangle that's really a 4G. We're going to get into that later. I liked Evangeline from what I saw from her, but she is also just very clearly there because women can't like each other. We can't be friends with each other. We can't be allies with each other. There were 2 girls in this book. Oh my God, they must be in competition with each other. We can't have friends because all we do as women is we are bitches that go out to snatch other women's men. That's why we leave the house, is to snatch men from other women. That's kind of Evangeline's mindset, I think, or maybe it's Mare's mindset. I don't know. I thought she was kind of like, I think I liked her because she was just really unfairly portrayed. Like every description of her was about what a big bitch she was, and every description of her was about how cold-hearted she was, or like how mean she was. And I honestly, like, other than she had her little troupe of mean girls and she was Regina George, like maybe Mare could have, I don't know, talked to her, or like existed around her for 5 minutes, or I don't know, tried to have a conversation without biting her head off or without making it about men. And then maybe I would have liked Evangeline less. So I have a section here that I would like to read that is about Mare and Evangeline's relationship with each other and why they can't get along. If all goes to plan, this horrible, spoilers thing will happen. Evangeline will have lost, just like me. Even though I know that pain firsthand, I can't bring myself to feel sorry for her, especially not with the way she holds on to Cal. Okay, so spoilers, but what we're talking about here is murder, okay? We're talking about Mare wants to be involved with, or is involved with, I don't think she actually wants to be, but that's neither here nor there. She is involved with plotting the murder of someone who is close to Evangeline. And she starts to think, oh God, Evangeline has feelings. She has feelings like me, but I don't want to talk about her feelings because she's clinging on to her fiancé. So the love triangle, which we will just ignore the 4th person in the little quadrilateral 4G thing, the childhood friend. So the love triangle is actually between Mare and 2 brothers, which I just think is gross. Like, first of all, it's unnecessary. Like, they have no chemistry. None of them have any chemistry whatsoever. And both of the brothers are like kind of assholes. And both of the girls who were involved, Evangeline and Mare, didn't really have a choice in the matter. They were just kind of like picked to marry who they married, so they don't have any chemistry with each other either. I mean, it's not like Cal and Mare were this childhood sweetheart thing and Evangeline just came in with her troop of bitches and decided she was going to take it all down. Didn't work like that. They didn't actually even really know each other. Like, I don't get the impression that Cal and Evangeline had ever spent any time together. His bride was kind of picked for him, and then Maven, the younger brother, his bride, who is Mare, was also just kind of picked for him. So there's no reason for any drama whatsoever. But for whatever reason, like, Cal starts making moves on his little brother's girlfriend, and that's weird to me. Like, that's nasty. Y'all are gross. Like, this is gross. Why? So I think it's pretty safe to say that I didn't like this book. I have an issue with the way that girls are portrayed in books like this, and I don't know, for whatever reason, that's really sticking with me right now, and I could not enjoy this. I could not get into this because of the vilification of women's relationships with each other for no good reason, like no good reason. And that was honestly, like, this is what bothered me the most. The thing that bothered me the second most about this book was the nasty ass love triangle where, like, one brother is gonna start making moves on the other brother's girlfriend for no reason. It was gross. It was unnecessary. Ew, like, why? And then, like, why would you, as a girl who has no chemistry between either brother, why would you do that? The reason, though, is because Mare is just kind of a giant asshole through this entire book. She's a dick, and I can't get behind her, and I can't like her as a protagonist, and I will not be continuing this series. So I am sorry if this was your favorite book, because this is like my least, like, this book has filled me with rage that I have not felt in a really long time, because ew, why? This is unnecessary. Like, give me something about the war. Tell me how this society got started. Tell me, are we in North America here? Are we talking about ourselves in the future? Because that interests me. That interests me so much more than watching two brothers fight over a girl that I don't even think anybody likes in this book. And I just, okay. If you have made it all the way through this video, thank you again for watching, and I am sorry if I have ragged on your favorite book, because that's not my intention. I just had some feelings, and I hope that you don't hate me for this. Until next time, though, hopefully the next book that I read will be more to my liking and something that I can gush about. I do not hate people who like these books. I would love to hear the other side of the story. Until then, thank you for watching, and bye!